Atma Namaste, everyone. Welcome to the Pranic Healing podcast. I am your host, Dr. Jason Yuan. So this is a very first episode of the Pranic Healing podcast. And the mission of the podcast is to really unite audiences around the world to create an accessible social platform where listeners can learn and integrate the teachings from Pranic Healing. The aim is to inspire lasting improvements in the areas of health, happiness, wealth, and spirituality. And today I'm joined by a very special guest. He is known by many in the pranic healing world. He is a master pranic healer, a disciple to Grandmaster Choa Koksui, father to 3 amazing boys, grandfather to 5 precious grandchildren, a loving husband to an incredible woman, a medical doctor and neonatologist for over 30 years, an associate professor, author, publisher, speaker, meditator, spiritual aspirant, seeker of deeper truths, world traveler, teacher, triathlete, photographer, friend, and lover of life. Please welcome Master Glenn Mendoza. Welcome, Master Glenn.
Thank you, Jason. This is a fantastic platform and a instrument of spreading a wonderful work.
Thank you. And I hope I got everything in your biography right. I feel like it's a unique talent to say all of that in one breath. So I hope I got everything in your biography correct. But for the pranic healing audience out there in the entire world, we know you very well. But for the thousands of people who are listening and who will listen, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are?
Okay. How do I describe myself? Number one, I am a physician. I trained on critically ill infants, and I have been in practice for over 3 decades or more. That's my life, and I love it. I love the medical part of it. I love the logic. I love the science. I love the research. Along the way, even when I was young, I was always enamored with the metaphysical. I wanted to meditate, but I was brought up a Catholic. Being a Catholic, we were just learn how to pray. We were never taught how to meditate. So I want to meditate, but I didn't know what to do. So I joined some yoga groups, and I was searching. Like probably some of you who are tuned into this, there'll come a point in your life when you are searching, but you don't know what you're searching for. Some people will feel empty. I didn't feel empty. I just feel that I'm looking for something, and life was even more than this. So during my process, I established my medical career. I've been in academic medicine as well as private practice, and did very well. It's not that I'm leaving medicine to go to something that is not working for me. I love medicine, but at the same time, I got to know the energy aspect of life and the spiritual aspect of life. So I found pranic healing over 2 decades ago, and I was just really more enamored than I had with medical life. And I did it together. At some point in time, I had doing my medical practice, at the same time understanding the aspects of energy or vibrational healing at one point in time. So I guess that's in summary that I am a person who lived 2 lives, medical doctor in day and an energy healer at night. And I had the honor of being given the honor of Master Pranic Healer by founder of Pranic Healing, which is Master Choa Koksui. So me and my wife were given the master. So there we we are honored to have that title.
Great. Thank you so much for that deep experience and story of your life, Master Glenn. And again, as pranic healers ourselves, we know your story very well. But for the thousands out there that don't know your story, I think that was a great first introduction to you as our guest speaker and to everything that we're going to talk about today. And as you know, you have that science background, but you also have that spirituality background. And the theme of today is a big question. It's a question is, what is pranic healing? And we're going to go about it answering this question in sort of three phases, basically in the past, the present, and in the future. So just to put that out there, I'm sure you've gotten lots of questions about it. What is pranic healing in your words, Master Glenn?
Pranic healing is an ancient science. It uses prana. Prana means universal energy or life force or life energy. And it is used, of course, the word healing, to heal the mind, the body, and the spirit. That's how our teacher, Grandmaster Choa Koksui, express it. It's a highly evolved and tested and simple yet powerful, no-touch, complementary healing system. Let me go over that. Years ago, 10, 15, 20 years ago, there is this alternative and complementary medicine that just started really taking traction. Alternative medicine is when you substitute a modality for medicine, like I'd like to deliver a baby using acupuncture. So you are alternatively using acupuncture instead of anesthesia. So you use treatment of acupuncture for pain. So that's alternative. Complementary is you add it on to what medical regimen or treatment that you're having. So pranic healing is a no-touch complementary modality.
Thank you. And is it considered energy healing? Because I know energy healing is something you described before. Does it go under the category of energy healing?
This is interesting, Jason. Years ago, the NIH dumped everything into what they call frontier medicine. For those who are NIH, they would know this. Frontier medicine is acupuncture. Frontier medicine is meditation, pranic healing, Reiki, and everything else. Then somehow, if you have to look at it, they're lost it. That now we are under, according to NIH, it's biotherapy, bioenergy therapies.
But yes,
bioenergy, I think bioenergy therapies, that's how the NIH call it. So they sort of categorize all this energy healing, craniosacral, quantum healing, and everything else. But in essence, the true essence of it, we are looking at energy healing. We have there are different modalities there. And overall, my feeling was that they could be grouped under one umbrella or a consortium called energy healing. Right now, we are just tribes. There's Reiki, there's healing touch, there's therapeutic touch, there's craniosacral therapy, even acupuncture, qigong. They're all over the place. And what happened was that science itself does not recognize us because there is no standardization of who we are. So overall, my feeling, my suggestion, looking at what you said before, what will pranic healing be in the future? We will be under one umbrella, one consortium, which I call probably energy healing systems, or energy healing consortiums, or energy healing modalities.
Okay. Thank you for that wonderful summary. Yes, it does sound like science nowadays is cramming us all into one big amalgamation with meditation, energy healing, and anything that they can't really explain. But it sounds like from your perspective that pranic healing is very different, and in the future we will be categorized in a much more organized manner, but also in a much more evidence-based manner. And I know you touched on a couple of different modalities, Master Glenn. So another big question that a lot of people have is not only what is pranic healing, but how is pranic healing different than Reiki or cranial sacral therapy or healing touch? What is the difference?
Maybe it might be presumptuous of me, Jason, to tell this, but we've just completed a book on energy healing as a profession. We just completed a book, over 250-page book on energy healing as a profession. It was the impetus of that was actually being myself as a pranic healer and organizing pranic healing groups in response to the COVID. But by and large, in dealing with energy healing, the energy healing is ancient. Energy healing is ancient. At one point in time, if I remember, the word energy just came in only in the 21st century. So by and large, before, they didn't know what to call it. They didn't know what to call this energy part, except prana or chi. Those are the ones that are doing it. So by and large, it's the same thing. It's energy, and using this energy. Let me go back. One of the things we know for a fact on all energy healing modalities, but more so pranic healing has said that disease will first appear or manifest in the energy body before it physically manifests itself. I could talk about it for 5-10 minutes, but we know for a fact that disease will start first on on an energy aspect, or in the energy body, as what we call, before it physicalizes. So by and large, all of these energy healing modalities like Reiki has been with us for almost 100 years. Pranic has been with us for almost 30-40 years. So what happened was that all of them give us different facets of healing. That's why I prescribe more to an umbrella wherein all of us could probably define each modality and each understand each other. So far, we respect each other. Healing touch will respect pranic healing. We respect Reiki. Reiki, being with us for almost 100 years, have a lot of followers. That's how I look at it. And therapeutic touch and healing touch, these are wonderful modalities. Using energy.
Yes, using energy. Thank you for that really eloquent response, Master Glenn. Yes, it does go through the entire gamuts of all different types of modalities, but at the end, the common theme is that we're using this energy to help heal the body initially through the energetic body, which is different from the physical body. And I know that in energy healing, there's the word chakras. I know it's a popular word. In the traditional system, there's 7 chakras, but in pranic healing, there's 11. So a lot of people get a little bit confused about that. Can you explain why is there 11 or even more chakras in the pranic healing system?
Let me go back first. The concept of chakra. By and large, when you start talking of chakras in a medical field, everybody will say you've lost it. Either you become a new agey, you become this woo-woo, airy-fairy kind of thing. But by and large, I think, look at it from a point of view, everybody, that there are energy centers. So we have an energy, actually, the better part to understand is energy is everything and everything is energy. Even Jason, from a medical point of view, energy is glucose, and this glucose will do a lot of things in our body with biochemical coenzymes, pathways, and all that to create energy. So energy is everything from the smallest to the glucose, or even the subatomic, if you have to, all the way to the planetary or cosmic. There is energy moving them. Okay, so what happened was that this energy healing this energy aspect has energy centers. In our body, we have energy centers. Example, if you're in love, where do you feel it?
In the heart.
Love is in the heart. So we know from our heart. How about when you are something sexual? It's a sex center. So we have these centers within us. It's proven along the way. So by and large, historically, according to great teachers, there are 7 energy centers in a simplistic form. So these energy centers are very actually, I think it was first expounded even in the literature introduced to the West by Madame Blavatsky in late 1800s. So what happened was that this took traction into people saying that there are chakral system. In pranic healing, we consider other important chakras. Other people have more. But by and large, we use this, according to the founder of Pranic Healing and Arhatic Yoga, Grandmaster Choa. He said, we use this part of healing. All of these chakras are related to healing processes, which other people may have not mentioned. It's only for the first time that pranic healing, the teacher introduced that this concept of energy is related to any organs, all organs in our body. They supply the energy aspect in our body. That's just as simple as that. And those other mentioned chakras or energy centers that were not mentioned before, they have their also importance. And guess what? This is known in acupuncture. Although there are 306, you are an acupuncturist,
Yes. Yep.
Jason. So this chakral system has actually been known as acupuncture points for centuries.
Thousands of years, yes. Thank you, Master Glenn. Yeah, I know it's a very common question, and like you said, once in the field of science, once we mention the word chakras, people in the room can flip their chairs and start jumping out the window. But as we all know, that it relates back to the energy centers. Same thing, how we have a liver organ. The liver organ corresponds to the solar plexus energy center. Same thing for the heart organ. It responds to the heart energy center. So it's a very clear and transparent one-to-one comparison. And as you said, it's been known for thousands of years, even in acupuncture. And I know you brought up a very special topic, and that topic is Grandmaster Choa Koksui, who you mentioned is the founder of modern pranic healing and Arhatic Yoga. So I just wanted the audience to hear from you. How did you get to meet Master Choa, and how was your early journey in pranic healing like with Master Choa?
This is interesting because my background is I'm from the Philippines. So Master Choa was also from the Philippines, but actually we've been here in the United States for a long, long time already. So we actually met him here in New York City. So we met Master Choa. We met pranic healing along the way while we have been in the United States, although our background, we are Filipinos. So even in the Philippines, during the time of my early search, I have not heard of Master Choa. But actually, he actually is a businessman. He finished as he took MBA and all that. He comes from a well-to-do family, but somehow he got enamored with this healing modality, and he developed it. He wrote the first book and finished it around 1987. And started spreading this energy healing in different parts of the world. So I divided. He divided the spread of pranic healing for the first 10 years. He was able to spread it to almost 70 countries throughout the whole world. Now we have spread it to over 120 countries. This is just a month ago. that we were able to see it. When you say 120 countries, there are pranic healing centers, there are workshops there, and it's not only that they were just taught and done with. So it has expanded, it has spread, different cultures, different religion, all religions. We have Jain, we have Buddhism, we have Christian, we have Muslim, we have Buddhist. You will see it that it's accepting all philosophies, all religion, all creed, and all cultures and languages at the same time.
Yes, like you said, there seems to be a very close relationship with energy healing and spirituality. And Master Choa was, for us, a very inspiring teacher. I know for myself, I did not have the opportunity to meet Master Choa physically, but many of us pranic healers have. So it's always nice and inspiring to hear stories of Master Choa, because he was such a great teacher in establishing pranic healing and Arhatic Yoga. And for our audiences, is there any special story or personal experience you would like to share about Master Choa and how he was as a teacher or as a person that can kind of inspire us a little bit?
I would say that he is the guru or spiritual teacher of the 21st century. For some of us who you could see at one point in time, you could see it with Steve Jobs. You could see it with great spiritual teachers great spiritual leaders. All of a sudden, they stopped their work, they leave their family, or just go to India to find spirituality and try to get a guru or a teacher to teach them the light, the way, the journey. Master Choa is a 21st century wherein we don't have to go to him. He comes to each country almost every week. In fact, I coined the word that he's a globe-trotting guru. Every week he goes from one country, one city to another, all through his lifetime, to teach and spread spirituality, to teach and spread pranic healing, and to go to the students. I remember one time he said there was this saying that when the student is ready, what is that, Jason?
When the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
The teacher will appear. According to Master Choa, when the students are ready, he said, I don't have a choice. I have to be there. Do you understand? From a teaching of a great teacher, I have to be there. So very, very good person, very good healer. He had a lot of, I've seen him do a lot of miraculous healing, even in front of, these are public sessions, and he just has a way with him. And he had tens of thousands people who are taking Arhatic Yoga throughout the whole world, and hundreds of thousands of pranic healers throughout the whole world doing pranic healing and meditation and twin hearts.
Yeah, that's amazing. Master Choa was truly a special, very special human, very special soul with his ability to, like you said, travel around the world, having to let go of priorities with family and friends and really prioritize the spiritual aspect, reaching out to many souls and spiritual students. And I think the next part of the quote is when the student is really ready, the teacher disappears. So can you tell us the time when Master Choa transitioned out of the physical body and how that was like for everyone?
Actually, the saying, when the student is really ready, the teacher will disappear. It doesn't have to be the teacher will have to be physically out. My understanding of that, even for myself, I had the honor of being with Master Choa for over 14 years, around 14 years. So it was it was a time of my life wherein I spiritually grew. I become a better person, a better version of myself. I got to learn the higher teachings and higher truths. At one point in time, in one of the retreats that he's holding, I left there and sort of, I would say to myself, I don't need a teacher anymore. It's not that I don't need it. It's like there is an inspiration within me, within my heart. I don't know where, a part of my energy being wherein the teacher will always be there. So when they said that when the student is ready, really ready, the teacher will disappear. It took have 7 more years with him, but in my heart, I was inspired. If you have to look at the esoteric or theosophical features of teachers and the relationship of disciples, there is something that they have mentioned about that.
Thank you, Master Gun. Thank you for that distinction that, yes, even when the teacher is not physically in the body, that we are all still connected to the energy, and the energy also through the teachings, through pranic healing in Arhatic Yoga. So I know we talked about a lot. Also, I know that something important in pranic healing, as pranic healing is the healing aspect. But we mentioned Arhatic Yoga, which is the more spiritual aspect. Can you just quickly describe what Arhatic Yoga is and what that entails and why it's important?
Let me go back to what you were saying earlier, some of our distinctions before. What happened was that energy healing has been known for a long time, but more or less this energy healing was geared towards or combined with the spiritual healing. We see it in shamanism. The shaman, the witch doctor, not really the witch doctor, the healing doctor, and the spiritual teacher are one. In the Bible, they are laying of hands by the spiritual teachers. Why? Because all of a sudden they have this tremendous amount of energy that they were able to use for healing of the sick and those with severe ailments. We have that exemplified in the Bibles and in the spiritual teachings. So by and large, at one point, spirituality and energy healing or spiritual healing were actually dumped together. As man evolved, usually, and the use of complementary and energy healing, it starts to do it on its own. So this energy healing was able to move forward. Master Choa, being as with his wisdom, was able to separate. We have a very strong healing arm in pranic healing and a very, very strong spiritual arm or meditative arm in Arhatic Yoga. So these are two things that he was able to move forward with the same power, with the same, I would say, force and energy came with it. So Arhatic Yoga stems from the word Arhat, and Arhat is like translated into a saint. It's a very evolved person who can he has a strong physical body, who has a calm emotions, and who has a stillness or keen mind, sharp mind. So do we have that? Maybe yes, maybe no. But these are really sharpened to such an extent that they are called an Arhat or Arhan. I think in the Buddha, they call it, in Chinese, they call it Lohan. So these are all saints. So the next word is yoga. Yoga means union or yoke or something like that. That means fusing. What does fusing mean? So yoga in itself, like people want to have oneness with their higher soul. So that means they strive their spiritual practice to have oneness with the higher soul. We will all have oneness with the higher soul when we all die. That's just oneness with God, oneness with all. But what happened, yoga itself was established to have oneness with our higher soul while we're still alive. So you combine the techniques and practice and meditation practices with Arhatic Yoga, and combine that with the achieving oneness with the higher soul. That's in essence is Arhatic Yoga, a revolutionary spiritual practice that is safe and practiced by, as I said, tens of thousands throughout the whole world.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, Master Glenn. It felt like you took us from starting about energy healing and all the way to the next exponential universe about the soul and spirituality. So thank you for your, again, such a lovely explanation of what Arhatic Yoga is and how that's deeply connected to energy healing and how that related into the past with spiritual healing. So
maybe sorry, Jason,
yes.
I just want to let you know, when people took yoga, when I just taught Arhatic Yoga for close to 40 people in Atlanta the past weekend. And what happened was that people, when they go to yoga, they were thinking that they were going to do, they need a mat. They need they need some exercises. That's how we visualize yoga. But this more future yogas is actually synthesis of yogas. We have the exercises part to make our body strong. We have the emotional aspect of yoga to make us more devotional, and we have the mental and knowledge and wisdom yoga to stimulate that. So Arhatic Yoga is actually more of a mental yoga, which is not seen in most of the yogas we are aware of right now.
Yes. I think Master Choa describes it, the yoga synthesis, where we, again, like you said, integrate the different aspects of yoga, and not just the yoga mat where we do a couple of poses and we achieve oneness with the higher soul. Maybe in the future, but yes. So continuing on, just kind of moving forward, you know, pranic healing now is probably the biggest it's ever been. And a lot of people ask, you know, do I have to be gifted to learn pranic healing? Do I have to feel energy? Do I have to be intuitive? How can the average normal person learn pranic healing and apply it in their lives?
It's interesting. You said that because, like, as I've mentioned earlier, I've been excited or attracted to metaphysical healing, alternative healing, complementary healing before I even found pranic healing. So when I took pranic healing, I said, this is so as number one, I'm a doctor. I do this one. It was just, to me, it was just something that I probably just breezed through just to complete it. Honestly, truth be told, I was really excited. I really enjoyed my first class. So I get to feel energy in the first level 1 basic pranic healing workshop. You'll be able to feel the energy, even see the energy, and use this energy to do simple to even mild or moderate ailments, and you could use it in the workshop. So it's really wonderful. Any person, average person, if you ask them, most of the people we have in our classes, they knew that they have the innate ability to heal. They just didn't know how. Similar to my meditation experiences. So pranic healing just gives some keys, give some direction, or point to a path, and it's just fall into place.
Thank you. I like how you mentioned the keys and the path, because I find that with pranic healing, it's almost like a recipe, right? You follow the steps, 1 through A to Z, and at the end you'll get the cake. So it's very simple, very straightforward, but of course very scientific, very evidence based, and it works. And I know you mentioned a couple of the classes. So we have basic pranic healing, we have advanced psychotherapy, all the way up to Arhatic Yoga. Is there anything you would like to talk about the classes? Because it sounds like each class is catered to a different aspect of either pranic healing or getting to Arhatic Yoga?
It's just one step. I look at it before. I said, can we just have a one class that will imbibe all? I realize it's just the concepts. There are a lot of concepts. When you see, very hard for medicine or science to accept something that they cannot see. Both of us are medical practitioners, Jason, and for those of your listeners who have scientific background, first thing they wanted to do is that, what is the scientific basis? So give me articles on that, as if it will change their mind. Think about it. Sometimes science wants to. This is just how I looked at it. Metaphysical or energy aspects will always be ahead of science, because science is doing its job from a lens of science to prove it evidence-based, and that's okay. I don't have any problems with that. So what happened was that, like energy, we have to hold your hand to go to an advanced pranic healing, which uses some color pranas. Color pranas. I didn't know they have colors. So according to a great teacher in the 1920s, he predicted that in 100 years, healing will be healing will explode. I don't know if the right word was explode, but will spread through vibration, through color, through sound. Do you understand? So this great teacher has predicted that this energy healing will come in form of energy or vibration, sound, or color. So this advanced pranic healing will teach you how to generate some of what we call color energies to accelerate the healing process. And later on, there's a level wherein we do some pranic healing for emotional and psychological conditions. It's been noted for a fact that 90% of emotional and psychological ailments actually are emotional or psychological in origin. That's a proven
90%.
90%. So it's been proven, and pranic healing could help that. From stress, all the way to addiction, all the way to phobia, and other else.
Thank you. That's a great encapsulation of what pranic healing is and how it can really treat the spectrum of different diseases and conditions, from very simple conditions to very advanced, even psychological conditions. And just moving forward, I know the next big topic is meditation and meditation on twin hearts. And I know that that's a staple meditation for us pranic healers, but how would you describe meditation on twin hearts for the average person, Master Glenn?
Actually, I'll describe, when I first went to pranic healing, I wanted to do some research. And one of the research I did was actually on meditation on twin hearts. For first 10 years, I meditate. I did some studies on it. The first meditation, one of the studies that I've done, going back to your question about meditation and twin hearts, meditation is like you pray to God, you pray to the higher beings, you talk to them. But actually, meditation is sort of like, in simplest way, this is not my original thing, you just listen. So, but meditation is just even deeper than that. Meditation is the platform wherein we could actually go into our most subtle energy aspects of our being, including the higher soul. That's through meditation. So meditation in twin hearts is a simple, powerful, easy to follow meditation. I told you I never do meditation, but this Master Choa will guide us into a meditative state. Then you feel good. Then later on, you go deeper and deeper. There are advanced meditations that one can do. It doesn't stop there. But meditation in twin hearts is based on many factors, but one is the physical heart. You develop the heart. The secret of all religions is actually the heart. So you open up your physical heart, Once you open up your physical heart, then we have what we call the divine hearts. That's why it's twin hearts. So these twin
Yes.
hearts, actually the divine heart and the spiritual, or the physical heart and the divine heart, you will get to use this to bless Mother Earth, bless your family, bless your loved ones. So the essence is meditation and twin hearts. You give, you receive. It's like the cycles of life: inhalation, exhalation, contraction, relaxation, intensity, and relaxation. It's all over in medicine, the cycles. So we do that by giving, we receive. And by doing that, it's been known, we've proven that it's the minimum it can do is you make you relax. Done. The second thing was that it could remove stress. It could heal relationships. It had healed ailments and other things that we've seen in the past. In fact, the recent study, which we're actually analyzing now, Jason, is looking at microbiota. If you want to hear some microbiota, it's the microorganisms in our system. By doing practices and comparing to a database, what happens? And they look at our RNA sequencing. It's just one area that we're doing studies right now, and we're compiling and reviewing the results we've just had.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you, Master Glenn. Again, I love how you take it very simple, from starting with meditation and how that's just an aspect of listening, all the way to, how twin hearts can help heal and connect us higher to our soul, but also, again, being grounded back into the research, how meditation on twin hearts actually improves our gut microbiota, or the bacteria in our system. So it's definitely a very exciting time to be in the world of pranic healing. So just to kind of close, I know we spoke a lot about what pranic healing is. We kind of looked at through the past, the present, through energy healing, through Arhatic Yoga, through meditation, through your experiences with Master Choa. Now, looking on towards the future, in your opinion, your vision, Master Glenn, what does the future hold for pranic healing?
You're fantastic, Jason. I've never asked this question, but I am not a great visionary like the teacher or great spiritual teachers, but one of the things I've seen energy healing modalities gathering together under one consortium, under one umbrella. And each one of us will respect each other, and science as a strong force in the future. We realize that they don't have a choice but to recognize that there is such thing as energy healing. That this is just not an airy-fairy, hocus pocus kind of thing wherein you talk about chakras, they roll their eyes. You talk about energy, they roll their eyes. I think in the future, energy healing will be part of medicine. It will be an adjunct to the practice of medicine. And resistant as science can be, they do not have a choice because the reality is there. We know for a fact that people will use alternative and complementary medicines in dollars already. So just by looking at it, people are looking into other alternatives. Think about it. How many of you start to look at alternatives in your diet that science has probably not considered? How many of you are looking at alternatives in your intake of vitamins or health, in health and well-being? As we start to focus on health and well-being of ourselves and others, energy healing will come into fore, including pranic healing. And I could see, because of the a way pranic healing has been used to address scientific and evidence-based, we will use it in the future to justify these modalities and technology that we're using, and at the same time answer these abstruse questions or concepts that science has been always could not answer. So I hope in the future, I would love to have researchers come in and try to prove that this energy healing is actually the real McCoy, or it's a reality within our existence.
Yes, yes. And as we know, energy healing is the real deal. So science is always catching up. But like you said so greatly, Master Glenn, that like with everything with our diet, and especially now with vitamins and minerals being a hot topic, energy healing will definitely come into fruition with that importance and significance that you've highlighted. And I think it would be a very exciting time, like you said, in next maybe 10, 20 years to see how energy healing and pranic healing will become integrated and a part of our lifestyle in our health and our well-being. So as we come to a close, I would like to ask this question, and I'm going to ask this question to every guest that we have on in the future. Any words of wisdom or encouragement for our audience, Master Glenn?
I think that's you should have prompted me on that question. Now
You have to think about it.
I have a feeling was that we are looking to entertaining some things that are not seen. We are looking into something that it's always been there. Look at the evolution of each and every one of us, a physical evolution, emotional evolution, human evolution. We'd always like to be better. We improve. That's why it's called evolution. And part of this evolution is understanding what we don't see. Part of this evolution is seeing this energy as a tool for our health and well-being. So this pranic healing is a important tool in the future wherein we could complementary use it in our health, in our well-being, in our ailments, in our emotional and psychological conditions. And I hope to invite you. I like to invite you to attend a pranic healing workshop. You could ask Dr. Jason Yuan for any information on pranic healing, or you could log on to our website, pranichealingusa.com, pranichealingusa.com, to have an idea of what pranic healing is. Again, thank you, Jason.
Yes, thank you so much, Master Glenn. And yes, I'll leave in the show notes the website and social media, because Master Glenn does the weekly Twin Heart meditations every week. And even today, auspicious time, we're doing a full moon meditation tonight. So I'll leave all of those links so that our audience can access and learn about pranic healing and meditation, and hopefully take the classes. So again, thank you so much, Master Glenn. It's always an honor and privilege to be in your presence. It's been so much fun speaking to you on a topic that we both share and love. And the audience and I are deeply grateful for your time, service, and words of wisdom. And also, we would be so happy and grateful for you to come back on the podcast again and talk about another aspect of your numerous accomplishments that took me 10 breaths to say, and different stories in your life. So again, thank you, Master Glenn, and Atma Namaste, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.